Oh, hey there. I'm Corey. I'm with Liqui-Dirt. And today I'm going to teach you how to put together our moss pull. It comes with everything that you need. So the moss pull comes just like this, and then we even include the moss. And let me get everything set up, and we'll be right back with you to show you how to put this together and how to install it inside of a pot with a plant that desperately needs a moss pull. Also, why plants need moss pulls, what the benefits are to them, and the best ways to train your plants to grow on those moss pulls. So I look forward to that, and we'll see you just back in a second. Hey, welcome back. So this is the plant that we're going to be repotting, and it's a Hoya. And as you can see, it's kind of overgrown. It's leaning out of its pot. There's also some roots showing down in here as well. This is a key reason why we need to replant it, but more importantly, we need to give it some support. They're great if they vine down, but this one I kind of want to let grow up. It'll be really awesome. It's also got some aerial roots that will do really good by grabbing into that moss. And so that's what we're going to repot, is this one here. So what comes in the kit is you're going to have your end spike just like this. You'll notice they're all flat packed, but they're actually going to bend up, and I'll show you that here in a second. You get your top cleat, which is nice, and you get 4 sections of the moss pull. Now, what's really great about this moss pull is, let's say you've got a 9-foot tall plant that you want to put together. Well, all you have to do is just add more sections. So it's kind of like Legos, not a sponsor or anything, but it's kind of how that click lock system goes together. Same kind of principle here, so it works really well. So what I suggest that we do to get started here is just set these out in their corresponding pattern. So they only go one direction to assemble, and that makes it really quick and easy. So start with your bottom down here, and you'll notice that there's like these little cup holes, and then there's like these little fins right here, the little prongs or pins. Those are going to interlock together. So just set the pin over the hole, just start at one side and just walk it down, and they'll all go together smooth just like that. Do that for each corresponding piece. You'll see it goes really fast. There are confirmed connections, so they're not going to fall apart. And we just do this to each one here. And just make sure that they're all connected and flat. Doing it on a nice hard surface like a table or countertop, best way to do this. And then we'll finish up with our top. Now, if you're going to add extra sections, then that's where you can take this top piece back off, add more sections as your plants grow. So super easy. Now, we're going to bend this and flex it at these joints. So make sure you've got these little V's. So it's going to go V side down, so the V is down on the table, okay? Just take this section right here and just take it and start folding it up. Start at an edge, just work your way down, and it'll fold right up, just like this. It's going to be a little stiff, but don't worry, that's part of the whole process. Once you get one done, the second one's going to be much easier to do. What I like to do is, as I'm flexing, I put my thumb right here at the bottom edge, and then I just flex according to my thumb, just like this. And that'll help roll this right up and in position, okay? Always keep it on the table, just makes it easier. Use your back hand to just kind of flex it. The front one right here, flex up to you. It's easier that way. Okay, just give it a flex. And then just kind of check for fit, make sure that it's looking really nice and square. And that's pretty much it for bending your moss pull. Now, filling the moss pull is really easy. We're just going to stuff it in and be really easy. And you can flex this back out a little bit, and it'll be perfect for you. And Gaia's coming in to say hi, so it's always good to see Gaia. She's here at the store all the time. So she's my Harlequin Great Dane. She's about 3 years old. So we also include the moss, so it's going to be super easy. Just tear the moss open and just take bits of the moss and start right down here at the point, okay? That's the best place. So you've got your seam right there. Remember, your point's going to go down in the soil. So when that goes down in the soil, we're not going to see it. And then just put like just enough to fill in there. You don't have to pack this this moss in here, but you want enough so when you close it up, it's going to surround that moss and it'll naturally pack it just a little bit. There's usually a little extra moss inside of the kit that you can go back and fill. If you have a little bit of a light spot or something like that, it's super easy to do. So you just do this in real time here. It doesn't take too long to get all of this in here, and just a little bit extra. So I usually will take the top part and just leave it just shy of the very top of the pole. It just makes it kind of a little bit nicer finished condition when you get done. You don't have kind of strings pulling out. You can trim it with scissors if you want to, leave it rough. It's all about nature at this point. So now that we're finished with the moss here, don't throw this away. If you have a terrarium or anything like that, this is full of spores, and this will actually help to grow moss. So you can take this little bit right here and add that into like your terrarium and start growing some moss as well. So really cool tip there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our zip ties. And so we're going to zip tie 2 here in the very base, 1 in the first hole of our first section coming up, 3 zip ties in total in each one of these sections, and we're just going to use them loose. So let me show you how to do that. The zip ties come included in the kit. We give you about 17. You're not going to use all of them, but we have a few in there for extras. So I feed it in just like this, okay? And then we're going to loop the zip tie, and you'll hear it click. And if you don't hear it click, then that means that you've got them backwards. So just flip it back over. So your zip tie should be just like this. And then the flat part is always what's going to go in and connect. So super, super easy. And you'll notice we're doing this a little bit loose right now. And that way we can kind of cinch up as we go. If it has a little pop apart, just like that did, just fit it back together with your fingers. Sometimes when you get started here, it can kind of pull that apart. That's why we start loose. Okay, so 1 there, and then go about halfway. You can count, but I just do it by eye. Super, super easy. Another 1 there. Finally, the top pole here. Okay, and then we'll do another 1 at the start. So you'll have 2 here. Then you'll have 1, 2, 3, and then you'll have another 1 here, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. And this makes sure that all the sections are really adhered well to one another, and you won't have any problems in the future. So we're doing this in real time, so it's kind of fun. You'll actually see exactly how long it takes to build your moss pole, which just takes a few minutes. That's one of the beauty things about this, is it's so quick and so easy. Pretty much anybody can assemble one of our moss poles. They're made out of carbon fiber as well, so they're going to last a really long time. So you can feel free to put them pretty much anywhere where you want. You can even use them for outdoor applications. And again, just work your way up. So you have 2, 1, and then we'll do our 2. So same process all the way up the moss pole. And 1 here at the very top. So that's the very top part of this section. And then we have 1 more hole here that will finish off just this top piece. Now, if you're going to add pieces in the future, you don't have to undo your moss pole to do it. You can take those pieces and just fold them around after you take this piece off. Just cut the zip tie, peel this piece off, and then form your other pieces just like we did here, and then add those on. Super, super easy. And then to zip everything up, just take these and start pulling them tight as you go down. now that we've got it pretty much closed. And all you do is just pull away, give it a little wiggle. As you can see, it's super easy, and it doesn't take a lot of force to do it. You can use pliers if you need to, but you don't want to go super Armstrong. It just has to pull this corner to closed, and that's pretty much it. The corner's mitered, so it fits together really smooth. All done in one more zip tie. All right, so that's your pole right there. These are really, really strong. They're not gonna fail. They're really, really good. So that's your pole right there. The last step to do is to trim all these tails off. And you just use a pair of like side cutters, wire cutters. You can even use scissors. So whichever way that is best for you, then just go through and clip these tails off. I like to use the flat cutters like this because they're not sharp. If you use scissors, then those pieces can be a little sharp sometimes. So just be careful when you're cutting. And anytime that you're using a sharp tool, make sure you read, understand, and follow all the safety instructions that come with them. Make sure you're not going to cut yourself or impale yourself. And then from this point, I do a little decorative detail where I take each one of these and I will spin them to the interior. Now, if you have a piece that comes apart like this zip tie failed. That's why we include a few extras. Don't worry about that. Just go right back and put a new zip tie in. Just like that. Okay? Sometimes the zip ties can fail. That's why we give extras. And then what I do is I just take my finger and roll these back down inside, just so that they are not poking out. So just like that. Looks like this one didn't want to sit there either. And we have another zip tie here. So we'll put that one in there. I might have trimmed it a little too close. Sometimes I do that. There we go. And there you have it. The finished moss pole ready for planting. As you can see, they are really, really tall. So they're over 32 inches tall. By the time you get it into your planter or that, you're gonna have about 30 inches plus of planting area where that you can train your plants right up on it. You notice that we did this dry. It's really important to do this dry, and then you can water through the top of your moss pole, which we'll show here in just a second. But let me get the next section set up where we're repotting that plant, but we'll get that ready and I'll be right back with you. Hey everybody, so welcome back. I went ahead and took some of our soil. We make our soil mixes here in-house, but you can purchase these on Amazon. I'm gonna leave links in the bottom so that you'll be able to link right up to that and get some. We sell it in different sizes. If you don't have a giant pot like this one, we made this one as well. It's the same model as our little Branson pot. This is just a giant Branson pot. And the vote was purple and red. So come into the store and see this pot in person and see how everything's growing once we get it all planted up. That's gonna be pretty fun as well. But so we put some soil in. Our soil mixes are vastly different from other soil mixes. We have everything the plants need in here. There's trace amounts of Liqui-Dirt in here, of course. And Liqui-Dirt's our plant food, as everyone knows. And we have in here perlite, vermiculite. We have trace amounts of carbon in here as well. Carbon is really important to have in the soil. If any of you have soil mites, if you add some carbon to the soil, you'll get rid of that, some activated carbon. We also have coconut coir in here. That's the chunky stuff, just like this piece right here. I really don't like to use barks in here. As many people know, bark and wood composites can actually strip nitrogen out of your soil, and it takes a while for it to put that back in, so it'll degrade. So we just have this full of just soil, no drainer rocks or anything in the bottom. It's really not necessary with our soils, so really fun. Our soils are just so much fun. But let's talk a little bit about this Hoya here. The reason why it's kind of fallen over is these sticks over time, they have rotted off in the bottom. A lot of people have that problem where your sticks will rot off. You don't ever have to worry about that with the moss poles because they're carbon fiber. They won't ever rot, so we don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to pull these sticks out really fast. And then we'll take our Hoya and we're going to unpot our Hoya and just flex the pots a little bit. If they're a nursery pot, you can usually flex them pretty easy. And just lift your Hoya out. And on Hoyas, you want to be very gentle with the roots, but I'm going to just take off just a little bit of this old soil and just kind of freshen it up just a little bit. I'm not going to take everything off. A lot of people want to take all the soil off. I don't want to destroy the biome that's inside of the plant. Now, normally you would plant this so that all your leaves would be facing outwards so that it'll drape over the pot, but I'm going to face all the leaves inwards so that we can put them around the plant stake. And so I'm just going to set these on here. Really, really easy. You can see how that is just almost centered, but just a little bit off center is all we need to do, because our plant stake is going to go right up through the center. And then we'll just take some more of this soil here and we'll pour some in there. Now, you don't want to pack soil around your roots. A lot of people like to pack it really hard in there. We don't want to pack the soil. We want to just get enough soil in here to surround that plant and those roots. And like I said, you want your soils to stay nice and airy. You might give it just a little bit of downward just to take and make sure that you get around all the edges. A little more soil. And this is our 8-gallon bag. Our 4-gallon bag, our 2-gallon bag, and our 1-gallon bag are available on Amazon. Just look up Liqui-Dirt soil and you'll be able to find it. I'll also put a link down in the bottom in the description, so that'll be really easy to find. So I'm going to do it to about there, maybe just a touch more. I usually leave my soil down about a ½ inch from the rim of the pot, and that's so that I can add some beautification to the top of it. Just some other rocks or sticks or twigs or moss, whatever you want to add to the top just to decorate out the soil. So we're going to go just about like that. Then what we're going to do is add our moss pull, and we're just going to take our moss pull, just give it a little wiggle, and insert that straight away, just right down in. And then go ahead and just give it a little bit of a tamp down around your moss pull, and that's it. So the moss pull is in place and we've replanted the Hoya. So our next step is going to be to untangle all of the Hoya stems here so that we can start routing those around our plant stake. So just be gentle, take your time, and everything will come undone. Hi Gaia, what you doing? Did you come to see us planting? What do you think, huh? What do you think? All right, so we've got 3 main stems here. So that's what we're gonna work with. So I'm gonna take these and put these on basically 2 sides, and then we'll route those up. And what I'm using here is just some simple jute twine. I like to use natural things when I'm wrapping these around, and it's super easy. Take this about 1.5 feet long. You can use your same clippers that you used earlier or your pair of scissors, whatever is easiest for you. Then what I do is I take this, fold it over just like this, and pretend that my finger is the stem of the plant. So I fold it over, and then I'm going to take both of these 2 sides, feed them up through the plant, and it's going to go just like this, and then this ties around the plant pole. And what this does is it makes it so it's firm, but you're not over tightening around your plant and choking it off. So we want to do that. So what we're going to do is start with this middle one here. and we're going to tie him up about halfway. So we'll take that string, make it even, like that. We'll cross it over the stems around those two lines like we talked about. So it's going to look similar to that right there. And then we'll just take this, and you don't have to put too much strain on the plant. It doesn't take a whole lot. Take this behind your plant stake, just give it a quick tie, and you can just do like an overhand knot. Some people call it a granny knot, but just an overhand knot is fine. And then you can just trim these wild ends off. Leave a little bit of a tail on them, just like that. And then just move on to your next section. It's super quick, super easy. You don't really have to measure too much because you can always trim off extra if you have any. So we're just going to train this up. And you don't have to put too many ties on your plant because the roots are going to go right inside the moss pole, and that's the beauty of it. Remember when we talked about why would you want to use a moss pole? And think of it like this. This great big tall moss pole is now a great big rooting section for your plant. So the rooting section here makes it so that all your roots can go inside the moss. They can get extra water. It'll help hold it up and adds a lot of rooting space for your plant. So 2 pieces. I usually do the top and kind of a little bit down, and then we'll go ahead and start working the other ones. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this started, and then I will show you what this looks like when it's completely tied up, and then I'll show you how to water it in and some of the little maintenance things that we'll do along the way. So I'll see you back in just a minute. Oh hey, yeah, we finished up, got everything all tied up in there, and I'm just watering this in right now. It's always important to water in your plants after the first planting. Helps settle the soil, remove any pockets that's in there, and just helps. So super easy. I water it. For a pot this size, I would probably put in about 1 quart of water will be just fine. And then one of the important things to do is with your moss pole, it's important to water through your moss pole to keep all of your moss wet. So you can simply just bring your watering can and just water your plant through your moss just like this. And it will absorb all of that water, and the moss will stay nice and fresh up there. And this way it'll promote that root growth for the aerial roots to grow right inside of where the moist conditions are. And this also helps to add humidity to your plant as well. So if you have a problem with humidity on your plants, this is a great way to add that extra humidity. So just go ahead and water it through. You'll see it all dripping and kind of coming through. That's perfectly normal. And then just let that drain. Of course, these pots have their own catch basin. And then we'll just add some decorative rocks to the top of the soil just to help that out, just to do it. So I've just got some river rock here. Super easy. And we just have it in a 5-gallon bucket because we go through so much of it here. And just take that river rock. This has crushed crystal. It also has shells in it as well, so that can help to add a little bit of calcium. And this way it also keeps burrowing insects from burrowing down in your soil. So just a light coating of stone can really help out that. It also lets the plants grow through it as well. So it's beautification, it helps your plants, keeps soil from being splashed up when you're watering around home. So it does a lot of things. It's really just nice. And then after that, I'm going to add just some other little pebbles. These are just some jade colored pebbles. And just add a few just for decoration. Just in a few locations. I like things to look as natural as possible. And then this right here is actually crushed quartz crystal. So when I do carvings and things like that, I save the quartz crystal, and then what I'll do is I'll just sprinkle this in, and then we'll add just a little bit of water, and this will all come together. It's just really beautiful on top of the soil. So we'll do that. We'll add just a touch more soil, touch more water. Just to water that in. And you'll see it kind of go between the rocks, and it kind of just adds those layers. And layers are what make it look really interesting. Wash off a couple of the leaves that we have a little bit on. And just like that, your plant is complete. And very simple repotting, very simple. I'll give you kind of a rotation tour of the plant on the moss pole. The moss pole is really strong. It's in there. You don't have to worry. It's more than capable of handling this plant or any tall plant. And remember, you can always add more extensions when your plant gets too tall. When it starts filling in and when the roots start to grow around, then you'll see the plant really take shape and start to change. And especially with Hoyas, when they're growing more vertical, they'll tend to blossom more. Hoyas have some beautiful flowers. They can smell really delightful as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you have them growing up versus growing down. I'm not sure why. I've just seen that a lot in the greenhouse, as well as customers telling me that they get more blossoms when they're growing up. This plant pole will work great for any kind of plant. I have some customers that are also using them with their reptiles, that they'll put them in their reptile cages for like chameleons and things, where they'll actually use it to climb up on, adds humidity there. And so a lot of different uses for them. So we're really excited about our moss pole. And that just about wraps it up for us. Remember to drink your coffee daily, have a great plant things up, grow something special. And all of the items that we've had here today will be found in links down in the bottom of the video. So if that helps you out, you can also direct message or email us. Liqui-Dirt.com is our website. And you can email us at store@liqui-dirt.com. And all of these products are available online on Amazon, on our website, or other supporting members. Thank you so much for joining us today, and you have a wonderful day.